All right, we're back. Let's do this. Where do we have to go? That way. Oh, right. I totally forgot. I have enough to get this now. Hells yeah. We're getting that. This one I want to get to. Judgment Bolt. Oh, before I forget. It's him. Alright.
Rogo, kill! Over here! Enough!
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
All right, let's go in. Damn.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
All right.
All yours, Torgal.
Ah, I keep forgetting.
All yours, Torgal.
Yep. Almost.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Cool.
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive. The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid, where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers, they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Okay, I have to ask, what did Clive do right there? He kneeled down for what? I did not catch that. I'm sorry if it was incredibly obvious, but to me it just felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, why did he kneel down?
The fork to the drawbridge is back the way we came. It's where the abbot would have gone himself, had he not.
The Imperials of old would never have stooped so low as to defile a house of Greeka, nor slaughter a man of faith in cold blood. May their goddess have mercy on their souls.
Anyone else here? Yep, time to go. I can't just fast travel, huh? Go up, go up. You know what? I just realized I don't think I need that anymore. Which one is the one with the... Okay. I think that's better. That way I don't have to focus on Torgal's side. Because for me, it's a little annoying to go back and forth, 12%. 12 seconds is... Is that... Yes! It is what I think! It's an airman! Awesome! Rank C. Bounty? Every now and then, Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items. Cool.
Do you think it's spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Doom. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa! Take him down, please.
Get him! Go, Torgal! Get him! Over here! Go, Torgal!
Okay. Whoa! There we go.
Go, Torgal!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Well.
Over here!
Damn it! Damn it! Thank you. Damn it!
Too slow.
Damn it!
Get him!
Oh.
Help me, boy.
Damn it!
Too slow. Get him!
Ah, crap! Thank you.
Get him! All yours, Torgal! Fire and flame! Torgal, kill!
Damn it. Ow!
To me, boy!
Wanga! Shit. Heal.
Hurt, Torgal! All yours, Torgal! Garuda! Get him!
Where'd you go? count him, count him. Whoa.
Nice try. Fire and flame!
Where'd he go? There we go. Damn it! Shit! I mean that.
You're a fine hound. Go talk.
Whoa! Where'd he go? God damn it! Teleporting son of a bitch! Damn it! Thank you! Wait, that killed me? Oh, come on.
To me, boy. Well done, Torgo.
Okay.
Nice try. This one. Go, all yours, Torgo. Too slow. Go, Torgo. Attack! Go, Torgo. This one.
Finally! Jesus Christ, I hate this teleporting asshole. Okay.
You didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge.
Give me this, whatever it is. Okay, clamshells.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Obelisk.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
All right, give me my items.
How do? Thanks very much.
I didn't realize I
Much
used an
obliged.
elixir.
There you go. Much obliged. There you go.
I gotta be
Very
careful
well.
of that.
They've killed my parent.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse-breakers. Those poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain. What in the world?
If you don't mind, Sid, I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
Arthur's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
Okay.
Try not to move.
Oi!
Hey there.
You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
Right.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
All right, can I fast travel there? Nope.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way.
Towards the scorpions? Oh, that way.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight. They're in trouble.
Ah.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right, then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
And Jill just happens to be here. Ah.
Get him!
Okay. What? Whoa! Heal up! Heal up.
Over here!
Nice try.
Alright. Ah! Damn it.
All yours, Torvald. Get him.
Nice.
You're safe now. White Heart, I presume.
Aww.
Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be.
Oh! Oh my god! No way!
Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mound. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems her pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are.
Aww.
Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old White Heart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, White Heart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
man, this is... Okay, this is the best side mission so far. Huh. Chocobo unlocked. I can't believe this is a side mission. Felt like something that should have been part of the main mission. After 18 long years, Clive has finally been reunited with his faithful steed. Hold R3 while in the field to summon Ambrosia, and X to mount the Chocobo. Oh my god, really? Is Jill with us? Jill's right here! You would think that Jill would be happy to see Ambrosia.
That's better.
And Jill has a Chocobo. Oh, I can jump. This is really cool. Hold on. Nice. All right, check the map. There used to be side missions here, but I guess because 5 years have passed, I can't do anything about it. All right, go back to the hideaway. So I could call upon Ambrosia anywhere?
Where's Gav?
Table, wall memory. Of the realms.
I hear there's trouble.
You think it's alright to touch him?
A bird by any other name. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another two apart. I am gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart. You told me once how your Chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate. And here so many years later, we find she has spent her life doing that exact same thing. Defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Why would she write us this? I mean, sure, it does say here, would that we had more time to speak to each other in person. But the thing is that according to this game, according to that point, she is right there with us, fighting alongside us. I am gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia. I don't know, it seems weird. The way she wrote this, it seemed like she wasn't even with us. But she was with us. She just happened to disappear in the cutscenes. I don't know what's the point of that. That really felt weird. Ah. That's the saddle. I mean, Jill doesn't want to talk about it right there. She's like, oh no, let me send a letter later. When did she write the letter?
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel.
Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mothercrystals. Four Mothercrystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Otto's counter is now open. The following hideaway facilities are now available: Alien Reports, The Patron's Whisper, The Hunt Board. Okay. Oh. It's over labors.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Think it's all right to touch him?
Back, are ya? So, what'll it be? Anything else?
Oh, it's down there? Oh. Too bad I can't just jump down. The treasure here? Oh, what's this? Aha. What you want?
Won't be long now, Martel. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died. And now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
Yeah, why not?
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day.
Okay, so here's the thing. If I did not do that side mission where I saved her from the hornets, or is it the lizards? I've totally forgot, but I saved her. If I didn't do that side mission, does that mean this side mission would never exist? Or this would still happen? I'm wondering about that. Again, like I said, the 5-year time gap just changed everything for me. Oh, I have to go down there. Nope. Dang it. I need a mini-map for this place.
That broom's as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here. Courtesy of Martel.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will ya?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples.
Doesn't sound like it.
I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Journey?
Desiree?
Oh, Clive! Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Words are immortal.
They live on in others, and if the words are your own, so too will you. You know who told me that? It was Jara in our last lesson for Titan King. It stayed with me ever since his passing and inspired me to become what I am today. I imagine we survivors all have a story like that, of someone who remains with us even though they're gone.
Business is busy.
On top of my regular duties here at the Whisper, Otto has piled countless other tasks, from transcribing and forwarding Stola's reports to penning needful missives. Not that I'm complaining, mind. I enjoy writing. I have ever since I learned my letters from Jara back in the old hideaway. I won't claim to have been his best student, though. That honor goes to...
Still.
I like to think Jara would be proud of me, too, where he...
Come to claim your just desserts?
Aha. I see.
Here you are.
Cool.
You earned this.
All right.
All done?
Thank you.
Here for another of my lectures.
What is it that you wish to learn?
Very good.
Oh, I thought you would level up.
Them old apples were enough to...
That room's as ragged as goat's locks.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
Martell's apples. Alright. I think that's it. Hunt board. Oh, we gotta go over there.
There's trouble in this area.
Okay, Moogle. Clyde, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kupo.
The hunt board? It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kupo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I am the mightiest of all the Moogles. No fiend of the forest or So I need you to slay them all, Kupo.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. But with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me, Kupo. I'll stay here then and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board, so if there's anything you need to... Did I ever tell you about the time I visited the Great Continent, Kupo?
I don't think so.
Of course I didn't, because I'd never been, Kupo. Look at these wings. Do they look like the sort of that might carry a Moogle across countless leagues of open sea? They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid, Kupo. It's precisely what you see before you, Kupo. The Cursebreakers note down the details of any particular dangerous monsters they hear about or encounter in the course of their duties, Kupo, and post the billets here, Kupo, so that any stout soul who wishes to do the realm a service might set out to slaughter an ungodly horror or two, which is where you come in, Kupo. As for me, I have the most important duty of all, painting a big red cross over each and every one you cut down, Kupo, so that everyone can sleep at night knowing that the realm is a safer place. Did you see that all the billets are marked with the location, Kupo? That's where the horrible horror in question was seen. But you can't be expected to memorize every last place in the whole wide realm. You're only human, Kupo, so if the place name doesn't tingle your pom-pom, Kupo, try reading the witness statements. Sometimes there are other details in that might help you track the nasties down and finish them off. Okay. Cool. That's a lot of gil. Okay, so that's the Broken Hill area. So I can't select these? Nope. I can't do anything about them. Okay, let's go.
Mather's all right.
Oh, I can only do that. Interesting. All right.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can, and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Ah. There we go.
Over here! Get him! Attack! Go!
Ooh. I just want to see what's over here.
Careful.
Give me this. What is it? Guild bug.
Over here! You're finished!
Thank you.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the millers?
You're a long way from home, aren't you?
Did I buy you? Eh.
You won't be disappointed.
No.
There you are.
The bug?
I reckon that's fair.
Like
I'll
blood?
find it a good home. I reckon that's fair. Fare you well?
Nothing else here? Okay. Let's speak with the villagers.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. Their 100-foot legions.
Wait,
I heard
there's...
it were 1,000.
Where's the other one? It said talk to two, and I only see... Are you the other guy?
Run along now, before one of the boys starts thinking
you.
Word is, Port Isolde's closed her gates to all but the Highborn, and now a great camp sprung up along the walls.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shield. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
We're going the right way? Yep.
This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
I don't want to use the chocobo yet. Oh!
Ever since the olive tree, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mothercrystals collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Get up! Over here! Stay down! Go to!
Cool. There's two paths, huh? I love this move. Get him. I really love this move. All right, what's on the other side? Ah!
More of my mother's men.
Get him!
Ow! Dickhead.
Get him!
What's this over here? Oh, bombs! Damn it, I missed.
Get him!
Okay. But what's this over here? That's treasure? Huh. I didn't even know that. I thought it was an enemy. All right, we came from that direction.
Help me, boy. Over here.
Thank you. I don't think there's anything else over there. Okay. Thank you. That was possibly overkill, but I wanted to do it. There's something here. I wanted to grab it. Oh, crap. I just want some shells. I just want some shells.
It's over.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again.
Okay.
I'll show you a true swordsman.
Seriously, that is so much fun. Nice.
You're finished. It's over. Sick of it. Get him.
Good job, boy. Beautiful.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
All right. You know what? I honestly totally forgot to equip this. I thought I already equipped it, but I did not. Aerial Blast. Yep, that's that. I don't like pile drive that much. Once I grab the other one, I should be good. 2,300. I could try to speed that up. Or just make ignition much stronger than before. I need more ability points. Three sharp fangs.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
Oh, God.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Oh, Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Shit.